hard as I thought.
Abba.
Simon, what are you? Simon, where's your phone, Simon? What? I thought you had it like under the sink.
You saw this?
What do you got it under a sink?
Yeah, under the ghetto cabinet they have.
Oh, I got you. All right. Okay, the late coming personal people are here.
Live.
The live people are here. We're ready to roll. Okay. The Rebbitzin of the Shir is not here yet, though. Okay, Daf Nun Aleph, right? So let's just do Chazara quickly, yeah? Daf Nun Aleph is a continuation of whether you forget and if you get to make a bracha and the food's already in your mouth. Then we had various halachas pertaining to a drink called asparagus and the difference between beer-based asparagus and wine-based asparagus. Then various sakonas, right, of which the major one was women coming back from a funeral. The Malach HaMavis is hanging out with them. 10 halachas pertaining to kiddush bracha, and then we said there's 4 halachas. Those are the disagreements, only say there's 4. And then Amud Beis, we said the sending the kiddush bracha to the wife, which was the interesting story there with Yalta. Then the Mishnah, then the new parak, and the Mishnah has all these differences, Machlokes between besamim, hil, and with halachas of the Suda. And the first thing that the Gemara discussed was the Machlokes, we say kiddush first or bar priya gofen first. And we said we paskin like base hillel, either because of the baskol, and the reason why we had to say it is because maybe it's going according to the Yeshua, who said that we don't care about a baskol. Yeah, fine, that's where we left off. So now, it's a little bit technical, this next Gemara. Ultimately, it's not so difficult. If you get lost a little bit in the Shaklatari, we'll just point out what the main part that we have to know from the Gemara to understand what's doing. And then there's actually a very, at least I'm an Aleph, there's a very practical halacha that comes out from it. Okay, so Zakti Gemara, it's one line down from the top, and then Beis Amud Aleph. Second line. The Sari Beshami, the Birchas Hayom Adifa, right? So we said that the Birchas Hayom comes first, right?
We didn't finish Nun Aleph.
Yeah, we did. We finished to the top line in Nun Beis Amud Aleph.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we sure
We said that the Baskol and all that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
If you want, we can do it back on there later, after if you want.
Maybe I just want to pay attention. Right.
It's not that hard a Gemara, that last Gemara there.
You can always go to YouTube.
Now you're talking. YouTube's awesome. Anyways, yeah.
Well, we have the Dropbox.
Okay, Dropbox is good. Dropbox reported good earnings. You know, it's interesting. Zoom stock went up a lot today because of the virus. Because now people are not traveling, so they're going to do meetings. I knew there was something I wanted to say over.
It's been running for a while already.
Did you buy stock?
I did not buy stock in it. That's why it went up. What?
Well, maybe we should change the name to the Corona Daf.
The Corona, very good. And then you guys would have Coronas instead of schnapps. Anyways, okay. The Savri Beishameh, the Birchas Hayom Adifa. So we got finished saying that Beishameh says that first you make kiddush, then you make on wine, which is not what we do because we pass on like Basil, who says you do wine first and then the kiddush. For Tanya, you have a brayso. Hanichnas l'beisa b'motzei Shabbos. If somebody comes home and motzei Shabbos mavarich alayayin v'ala ma'or v'ala besamim, he makes a bracha on the wine and then on the fire. Ma'or is on the light, right on the fire. V'ala besamim, and on the besamim. And then he says havdala. Fine. So that's what we're going to get to what we do. But let's say he only has one kais. He leaves it until after benching, and then he puts all 3 afterwards. So what do you see from this? Right? No, but he's saying that it's
more important to have kaiser havdala.
No, you're doing yayin first.
Right. Okay.
You're doing yayin first, according to this, right? So we're thinking that this price is Beishama, right? Now the Gemara is going to say, who says that this price is Beishama? But if this price would be the Beishama, right? Mm-hmm. Then this price is saying that yayin comes first, and Beishama holds that the kiddush, the yom comes first. Here we're talking about havdala, but it's the same thing, meaning the main reason that you're doing it is the kiddush or the havdala, so that should come first. And here we're saying the wine comes first. So your immediate reaction should be, well, who says this bracha is Beis Shammai? Maybe this bracha is Beis Hillel. So that's what the one was going to ask. But how many might Beis Shammai? Who says that this bracha is Beis Shammai? Maybe it's Beis Hillel. So the Gemara says, don't think that. The katani, because we learned ma'or v'achar besamim, because it says first you're doing the fire and then you're doing besamim. Uman shamalei the islay high svaran. Who says that we go with the light first and then besamim? That's Beis Shammai. The Tanya Amar Rabbi Yehuda loy nechlu go Beis Shammai Beis Hillel al hamazon shebetchila al havdala shebesayif. There's no Machlokes in Beis Shammai Beis Hillel that because the mazon comes first and havdala comes last. What is the Machlokes? Alamar v'al besamim. The Machlokes is on ma'or and besamim. Beis Shammai amrim ma'or v'achar besamim. Beis Hillel amrim besamim v'achar kach ma'or. Right. So you clearly see that Beis Shammai is the one that says that ma'or, the light, comes first and then besamim. If that's the case, then this bracha clearly is Beis Shammai, and the problem is that it says wine comes first. So it's a steer in Beis Shammai. So now the Gemara is going to say, and this is the Gemara on Amud Beis, that there is a Machlokes between Tanoim, whether Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel are arguing on which comes first, ma'or or the fire or besamim, meaning that in itself is a Machlokes. So that's what I was going to say. My Beis Shammai, Rabbi Yehuda, who says it's Beis Shammai according to Rabbi Yehuda, Dilma Beis Hillel hiva libid Reb Meir. Maybe it's like Beis Hillel and it goes according to Reb Meir, who Reb Meir swaps it, which we'll see on the base. Reb Meir swaps the opinions of Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, right? So Gemara says, don't think that. The Ketani Hacham Masnisin, Beis Shammai Amrim Ner Umazon Besamim Havdala. In the Mishnah it says you do Ner, Mazon, Besamim Havdala. Beis Hillel Amrim Ner Besamim Mazon Havdala. And in the Bryce it says if you only have one kais, you leave it till after the benching. And you put everything after the benching. So you see that it clearly that Bryce has to be Beis Shammai because it's putting the wine first. Right? And it's going according to Yehuda because he says wine and then he says besamim, right? Right, he says Neru Mazin Besamim V'Havdala.
And we saw Ner Besamim Mazin.
So
V'Havdala.
Yeah. So it has to be a Sham according to Rabbi Yehuda. Fine. So we call Makam Kasha, but the bottom line is we have a Kasha. We have a stira in Beis Shammai. Right? That's the bottom line. We have a stira in Beis Shammai. So Kasara Beis Shammai, this is an important rule. Beis Shammai holds Shani Iyula Yoma Me'efuka Yoma. The day coming in is different than the day going out. Meaning kiddush Friday night, we want Shabbos. Shabbos is coming in, and so we want to make the kiddush first because you want to bring in Shabbos as fast as you can. Havdala is the opposite. We want to keep Shabbos as long as possible, so we want to make the kiddush after the yain. So again, Shani Iyula Yoma going into the day, which is Erev Shabbos, Me'afuka Yoma from the day going out, which is Motzei Shabbos. Iyula Yoma Kama de Mekadmina Le'Adav. The earlier that we can make it, that's what we want to do. So therefore, we want to make kiddush first. Afuke Yaima, to let out the day, meaning Motzei Shabbos, Kama de Machrina Le'Adav. The later we can say havdala, the better it is. So therefore, we want to make Bar Priya Gofen first. So we push off the havdala part. So it doesn't look like it's a burden on us. Now, this is interesting because I always wondered what's the pshat in this. You know when this comes up the most? Every year on Shabbos Chanukah. Shabbos Chanukah, what goes first?
Shabbos Chanukah.
You like Motzei Shabbos Chanukah? Do you like the candles first? Chanukah candles and Havdalah, or Havdalah and then the...
But that's that's because of Tadir, no?
No, it's not because it's both. The shayla is what's more important.
For this year, you said you're doing Chanukah first.
I don't remember what I do from year to year. Neither does anybody else based on the shaylas, right? But that's the shayla, right? The shayla is: do you want to push off Shabbos as late as possible? Do Chanukah, meaning Havdalah should really come first because it's Tadir. The other side of the coin is that you should push off Shabbos as long as you can.
But you're not pushing off Shabbos, but lighting Chanukah to steer it to Shabbos.
No, it's not because it's not. That's what I think the line here is. It's really, of course, Shabbos is over. It's over. You're not changing Shabbos being over based on when you're making havdala. But the point is if you make havdala first, it looks like the Shabbos you don't want. Looks like Shabbos is a burden, right? So that's what it is. So that based on this svara, that's why those that push off havdala till after Hanukkah is because they don't want it to look like a burden. And I think we have the same thing.
What about when Shabbos goes into
how about when Purim is on a right? Is next year Purim on a Motzei Shabbos?
Next year, Purim's on Friday.
Next year Purim's on Friday?
I think so. Purim shows next year.
With Purim on Motzei Shabbos, I think is the same issue. Right? If you do Megillah first and then Havdalah.
We had it last year.
All I know,
Oh, it's only Shabbos. Right,
all I
it's
know
not
from Nevin's tell is that he's a
Yeah, Purim at the same time.
Yeah.
What about Friday night? Motzei Shabbos into Yom Tov?
Motzei Shabbos.
all I know is from
Regularly that in the house.
Right.
Right, yeah, right. That's
You should push off the Havdalah to the end. You do that, or you don't.
all I know from Rav Nevin's tell is that Motzei Shabbos, he's a very big yeki when it comes to lighting Hanukkah candles. Except Motzei Shabbos, he waits like 3-4 hours after Shabbos is over.
to what? To light Hanukkah candles?
To light Hanukkah candles, yeah.
What? To
It's
keep
always
Shabbos
like
longer? To keep Shabbos
First off,
longer?
he keeps a weird zman. He keeps past Rabbinic time. And I think his zman is like 96 minutes or something like that. He has a cheshbon.
I hear.
That's what
Interesting.
90 minutes,
what's it called? Is it Ron? No?
What? 90 Rabbanim, yeah.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Who does that?
He's not doing brisk.
Who'd you say? Reb Nevinsel? Who'd you say?
Rav Nevin's tell, yeah. I only know one Rav. Rav
He's my son,
Tzvi Yaakov and Rav Nevin's tell.
Let me see, you know.
So we never.
Anyways, yeah, okay, it's interesting. I'll have to go ask him. That's all, Itai.
Please, yeah.
Never told the one with the rope here.
Okay, weiter.
One is the kid's father, son. One's in America, one's there. Is that?
No. The Sabri Beshami weiter. The Sabri Beshami Birchas Hamazon tuna kois. Does Beshami hold that Birchas Hamazon needs a kois? Well, Tanan Bolehem Yain Lachar Hamazon. Right. So clearly, from this Gemara, it seems like Beshami requires that you need to have Birchas Hamazon with the kois, because otherwise, why are you putting the whole havdala after the Birchas Hamazon? Just make havdala regular and then bench, or bench first without a kois. Right. Clearly, from these brises, Beshami requires a kois. Again, Besar Beshami Birchas Hamazon tuna kois for Tanan Bolehem Yain Lachar Hamazon. Right, the Mishnah says if they get the yain, our Mishnah says if the yain comes after the mazon, meaning the meal. As I say, if you only have that one kois, first you make a bracha on the wine, and then you make a bracha birchas hamazon. My love the mavarchi love for shasile. So if you're making a bracha on butter priya gofen, right, isn't for the meal? Isn't that aren't you going to drink from it for shasile? Right, so then you only have one kois, and now you have no kois for benching. So clearly, Beshami does not require a kois for benching. So Gemara answers, so it's talking about where he makes the bracha by the prayer and then he leaves it. How could that be? If somebody makes a bracha on something, then he has to taste it. So Gemara answers the time, so he did taste it. So then Gemara says, if you taste it, then you were pagum it, right? You taste the wine, and then that means you're pagum it. So now it's a bad cup of wine. You can't use it for Berchos Hamazon, right? So Gemara says the Tanle b'yadei. You didn't put it into your mouth. You put your hand in it. So okay, so now we have a different issue. A kosher bracha needs a shear. You put it by tasting a little bit with your hands, and then you're doing it less than a shear. So Gemara says the nafesh because you took some of it out.
If you have a huge case.
That's really what the Gemara is going to answer. So Gemara says the nafesh leitfei mishiyuri. He had more than the shear.
Some of these
What's that? Right. Okay. Let's see the whole nafesh. The nafesh leitfei mishiyuri. He had more than a shear. But it says he only had one kais. How did he have more than a shear? It must have been an exact shear. So trein loy havi umechad nafesh means he didn't have two kaises, but he did have way more than he needed for one shear of a kais. But he only had 2 cups worth, right? So it must be somewhere in between one kais and 2 kaises, right? Yeah. So then Taisus points out manichei lachar hamazon. So Taisus says it's mashma that if you leave it till after the food, then it's mashma that's mutter to taste before havdala, right? Okay, that's one thing, and then pagum the Tosfos says, Pirush Hashbam, Dafka lekiddush shel havdala tzarich shel pagum. Aval lishtos tzarich levarach lev al vishu pagum. Right, a pasha the thing. If you meaning for kiddush and havdala, when you're making butter priyagofen for something shepi kedusha, so then that's if it's pagum, then it's a problem. But if you're just stop making a bracha on a cup of wine, of course you can make a bracha on a cup of wine, even if somebody sipped from it. Right? It's just the din in making a bracha sanana. Fine. But we have a
What about by Pesach?
What?
What about by Seder? What about by Seder night?
What about
Where
what?
we take, what about by Seder night by the Dalit Kos?
Yeah.
Where we take out, when we take out for the mitzvah,
Right. So
by the
some
Dalit
people,
Kos,
right, that's a good question. That's a good question. So some people fill up the kos. Some people do fill up the kos before you make the bracha.
Right.
But he's asking you stick your finger in with the kos, and now you lost the shear. So some people, first of all, you hopefully have a kos bigger than the shear. But others, what they do is they'll pour more wine in to refill it, right? So it says, it says very clearly that Rav Chia said the B'Shamai says you make a bracha on the wine and you drink it, and then you make birchas hamazon. So clearly you are drinking it. So Ella Trey Tanai, but leave it B'Shamai. So we come up with a different teretz. It must be two different Tanaim having a disagreement in B'Shamai's opinion whether you need to have a kos shel bracha for birchas hamazon. Okay, now we get into tumah and tahara. Okay, so there's different ways that you to tumah transfers, right? You have rishon, sheni, shlishi, and then hands. Hands are considered tumah midurabanan. So we'll see how this goes. So b'shamayim, yeah. So this is a machlokes that has to do with whether you should wash your hands first and then pour the kos, or should you pour the kos and then wash your hands? Tonabanan b'shamayim. First you wash your hands, and afterwards you pour the kos. Because if you say that first you should pour the kos, because sometimes the wine spills over the kos, and now it's wet, and now you're and your hands are going to make the wine on the outside of the kos tamei. And then that liquid that's on the outside of the kos is going to transfer the tumah onto the kos. Yeah. So that's the concern. So therefore, wash your hands first to make your hands tar, and then you don't have this issue. So Gemara says, "V'litnu yadayim l'kos." Why don't you just say that the hands are going to make the kos? Why do you need to come onto this wine on the outside of the kos? Yadayim shniyas hain, because yadayim hands are considered shniyas, meaning sheni l'tumah. You have avia vaysa tuma, ava tuma, rishon l'tuma, sheni l'tuma. So your hands are considered sheni. Vein sheni oisa shlishi b'chulin, and a sheni cannot make a shlishi, meaning the tuma only goes to the second degree. It does not go to the third degree for chulin. It will for truma and for hektish, but it won't do for chulin. And here we're talking about chulin. We're talking about plain wine. We're not talking about anything with kedusha, right? I'm sorry. Vein sheni oisa shlishi b'chulin ela yedei mashkin. The only way the sheni is going to transfer tuma to the kos is if there's a liquid medium there. Right, so that's Beishamai's opinion. Beisol says first you pour the kos and then you wash your hands. Because if you say that you wash your hands first, now your hands are going to be wet, right? And then the kos, and the hands are going to get wet the hands are going to get tummy from the kos. And then the kos is gonna go make your hands tummy. So now what'd you gain? Right?
Are we don't hold that washing your hands for bread, you're washing up tuma, you're preparing to eat bread though. It's not like you use the bathroom where you're at a basic virus or something like that, where you're washing away tuma, right?
Right.
So
correct.
So why would that be?
The only reason why we wash for bread nowadays is as a zeicher. We really don't have to wash for bread nowadays. This whole thing is one big zeicher, right? So once it's a zeicher, so then we're that's what we're talking about, right? I think so. We'll see it on Amud Beis. On Amud Beis, the Gemara is going to discuss that this whole tumah. There's no such thing as tumah on hands, right? Tumah is either the whole body, right, or not. It's all or nothing. So this tumah of hands is the Rabbana Dika tumah. So that's why they have this control over what type of tumah it makes. Anyways, yeah. So
How would a tumah hands work in terms of kahanim?
it's really not. It doesn't. It's either you're fully tummy or you're not fully tummy. I don't think.
Right, that's what I'm trying to-
I don't think Kahana make any difference for this. I mean, they're the same as Yisraelim, but they get to this tumah on the hands. Huh? Right, as we're saying, stam yadayim shniyas hain. Yadayim are shniyas. But anyway, so Beishamai is.
Yeah, but there had to have been something to it because you had the kiyar. They washed their hands and their feet.
Right, that was after the hands. That was in order to make. That was for kedusha. That wasn't for tumah. But yes, you're right, Aaron. That's where it comes from. That's where this whole thing comes from. But that was really for kedusha, meaning you're about to do something kiddush, so therefore you have to wash your hands, which is where we do. That's where the whole washing for the bread comes from. Right. So Beis Hillel is saying the other way around. We're afraid that your hands that you just washed are going to get tumah from the kais. Right, again, so first you pour the kais, then you wash your hands. Because if you say wash your hands first, the liquid that's on your hands is going to become tummy machmas hakais because of the kais. And that's going to go make the hands tummy. So Gemara says, why don't we just say that the kais will make your hands tummy, having nothing to do with liquid? So ain't clean. So Gemara answers, ain't clean matama adam. A kli can't be matama a person. So then Gemara says,
why don't you just dry his hands?
Huh? No, we're afraid you didn't properly dry your hands.
If you wash your hands and you touch the kais, your hands.
Yeah, but okay, these are all concerns you may not do that, right? So then Gemara says, maybe you're going to make the liquid that's inside tummy, right? So we say, the toichay tar begabe tummy. Another interesting din of tum and tara. Here we're talking about a kli that the outside became tummy, right? B'mashkan askinon, that toichay tar begabe tummy, where only the outside of the kli is going to be tar. The outside is going to be tummy, and the inside is going to be tar. The tanan kli shenitmu achayr b'mashkan. If a kli that becomes tummy with liquid on the outside, achayr of tameim, the outside is tummy. Toichay va'oignoi. But the inside and the how do you call it? The handle and the ears, literally, and again the hands, they're all tar, right? So Rashi says the kivan the tuma zoom derabonani of the behakera, the later with the rabbanon. Meaning what? I mean, how does that make sense? If your kais is tummy, the whole thing should become tummy. So rabbanon, they do this a lot in tum and tara. The rabbanon, they make these interesting takonas. Just so that everybody should know, by the way, this tumah is the rabbanon, it's not a tumah daraisa.
Are we marking on these tumas nowadays?
Not that I know of. Hope not.
So these xeras were made when? Why aren't we marking on these xeras? They're not xeras.
No, but they're by when they ate with tum and tara, when you eat the tum and tara.
Only for tum and tara.
Yeah. Yeah. So nitma toicha, nitma kula. But if the inside of the kais becomes tummy, then the whole kais becomes tummy. Okay, so fine. So that's the Machlokes Beishamai. So now, what are they arguing about? You are not allowed to use a kli that became tummy. The outside became tummy with mashkin because we're afraid that there's going to be little. How do you say nitzaitzes? Literally means sparks.
Yeah.
Means drops that are going to go inside. So Beishamai, and then
the
it's going to
outside they go inside?
Yeah.
Well, that's not possible.
Why not?
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry. It's going to go the other way. It's going to drip on the outside.
Right, but you're not going to use it.
Right.
It's gone.
No, the whole thing is going to mix the outside with the inside, the liquid.
You're not going to get the tummy liquid back inside.
It might touch, right? And then the hands, then it might make the hands tummy. Meaning, once something is tummy, the Shammai is saying, even though it's just the outside, not the inside, stay away from it because it's bound to be a problem, right? And there's no gezerah though that perhaps the mashkin will become tummy from the hands, from the kais. They hold that you are allowed to use a kli that the outside became tummy. Like you're saying, Naftali, that the nitzaitzes are not common, so there's no reason to make the gezerah. But one thing you do have to be concerned for is we're afraid that the liquid that's in your hand is going to become tummy from the outside of the kais. Davar acher, or another reason why Beis Hillel doesn't want to say like a Shammai, take a netilas yadayim suda, because we know the rule is that the netilas yadayim has to be immediately before the suda, right? And we don't want to do that. If you're going to do netilas yadayim, then the kais, then it's not going to be immediate, right? My davar acher. What does it mean, davar acher? Hachi karmelu Beis Hillel. By meaning, why do you need another pshat? Why Beis Hillel is disagreeing with Beis Shammai? Hachi karmelu Beis Hillel Beis Shammai. This is what Beis Hillel is saying to Beis Shammai. L'titku dam risu asur l'shtamish b'kli shacharav tmein. Right, according to you, who say that it's usher to use a kli, that's outside his tummy, because it's because we're afraid that there's going to be some drops. Still, it's still better to wash your hand, to make kiddush first, to take a netilas yadayim suda, because like this, you'll pour the wine first, and then you'll have take a netilas yadayim suda. If the Olam remembers, wasn't that long ago, it was exactly 10 blot ago, where we said that there's a list of 4 things that are immediate. Anybody remember? Mem Bezim and Aleph. Right? We had a few things that are immediate. And what do we say? Take a geula's tefillah, take a legula's tefillah, take something else. How come it doesn't have take a netilas yadayim suda? That's Tosfos kasha, right? So because this is a Mishnah, so maybe it's a Mishnah, the Gemara didn't need to mention it. Okay, now this, by the way, this Machlokes has nothing to do with that the Yekis make wash first and then do kiddush. That has no shaykhs to this Machlokes. It sounds like it does,
right? But
it doesn't. It's just there. It's just the Machlokes of whether kiddush is a hefsek or not, right? Shulchan Aruch says it is a hefsek. The Ramah says it's not a hefsek. So really, us Ashkenazim should wash first, like the Yekis do. But the Mishnah Berurah brings that most pais can hold lot like the Ramah. So this is one of the scenarios in Shulchan Aruch where us Ashkenazim are not doing like the Ramah and we're doing like the Sfardim. Okay, fine.
But how is it? It's still not takeif. Even if you want to say you could do it that way, it's still not takeif.
Well, it's supposed to be a takeif.
But
that's why the fancy houses put the sink in the dining room.
But take it. I'm just saying, take over netilas yadayim.
So they don't have the takeif. I mean, it's an issue with takeif.
No, but
they call that takeif.
It's either takeif or it's not.
You're right.
It can be a little pregnant.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what
that's a very good reason.
Could be.
There's no reason
Could
to
be.
do it.
So
you
can
do it, but
so I stand corrected. You're saying maybe it does have to do with this.
It's not possible.
Okay. Anyways, back to Beis Shammai Mekaneach, right? So Beis Shammai says that when you wipe the towel, right? So where do you put that towel? Yeah. Yeah. So where do you put the towel? So Beis Shammai Mekaneach Yoda b'mapa menicha al shulchan. What you do is you wipe your hands in the towel or the napkin and you place it on the table. Because if you said that you put it onto the cushions, meaning they sat on cushioned couches, maybe the liquid that's in your napkin is going to become tamei from the couch. And then it's going to go, that napkin is going to go, make your hands tamei. That's it. That's what's going to be. That's the concern. So I ask, why do we need the interim? Just straight. Why isn't the kesses? How come the kesses is not going to make the mappa tamei? Ain't kli matama kli. So we have this rule that a kli cannot make bimatam another kli. The kesses legavra gufei, right? Why doesn't the kesses? Well, we're afraid the kesses is tamei. It should be matama the person straight. Ain't kli matama adam, because another rule is that a kli cannot be matama a human. That's Beis Shammai. So you put it onto the cushion. You're going to say you take this napkin and put it on the table. Maybe the table will make the napkin tamei, and then that napkin is going to touch the food, and it's going to make everything tamei. So Gemara says, if the table is tamei, so how come the table doesn't make the food tamei? Right? Again, why isn't the shulchan making the food tamei straight? We're talking about a shulchan that's tamei sheni. Like we said before, vein sheni is a shlishi b'chulin. A sheni will not make a shlishi, or for chulin it will not make it tamei. Parents, you look very excited with this. Ella, Al Yidei Mashkin. A table will not make.
I just finished Membays and I had no idea what you were talking about. So that's
Okay, but it's late. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
You just finished Membays today?
Yeah, he's in his chazor. El Al Yidei Mashkin. Right, so ain't sheni. Oisa shlishi b'chulin El Al Yidei Mashkin. Fine. So b'mayka miflagi. So what again now? So now we have that's the Machlokes. So now what is the root of the Machlokes? B'mayka miflagi b'shamei savri. Also, l'shtamish b'shulchan sheni. You cannot use a table that's a sheni. Because maybe somebody who eats truma is going to be eating on that table, and we said for truma a sheni will make a shlishi. So therefore we don't want you using a table of a sheni at all. So then Beis concern is not a concern, because Beis concern was only that the table was tamei sheni. You're allowed to use a shulchan sheni. Why? So what about the truma concern? Truma's reason, if somebody's already eating truma, then he's a kayan, and means he's a zoris, and he's going to be very careful, right? Or another reason why Beis doesn't want to say like Beshamai, ain't natilas yadayim l'chulim min haTorah. There is, right, this is what Aaron's wife, this is what it's saying, ain't natilas yadayim l'chulim min haTorah. There is no natilas yadayim for chulin min haTorah. My davar acher, hachi kamer. So why are you saying davar acher? This is what he says. Hachi kamer l'Beis Beshamai. This is what Beis says in Beshamai. V'chi saimru. And if you're going to say Maishna gabi oichlin to chashinan or Maishna gabi yadayim to loy chashinan, how come for food we're chayshish and for yadayim we're not, right? For loy chashinan, meaning if you're concerned about a sheni, so then it should be one or the other. No, I'm sorry. Right? How come you're choshed by oichlin and you're not choshed for yadayim? Meaning, so that's what he would tie on Bisila. This is still better. Because it's still better to do it this way, because there's no natilas yadayim at all from the Torah. The less we would rather your hands become tamei that doesn't have an ikar tumah midaraisa, and don't make oichlin tamei that do have an ikar midaraisa. I mean, we'd rather your hands become tamei than the food, right? So that's why you put the napkin onto the onto the cushions, right? I mean, we'd rather what?
Beis says you put on the shul.
No, Beis says you put on the kesses. Oh.
Nope.
Yes. Beshamim. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, I know it sounded like I knew what I was talking about there. I don't really know what I was talking about what I sound like. I'm just telling you that. Okay. Beshamim mechabdin, right? So now we get a little easier. That's the hard part of the daf. So Beshamim says you sweep the floor first and then you wash your hands. Why would you have to sweep the floor first? If you're going to wash your hands first, what's going to happen is you're going to lose the food, because what you're going to do is the food is going to get disgusting if you're washing my machrenim on the floor under the table, and then you have bread under the table. So now you're going to kill the bread because you're going to get it wet and muddy. Remember, they had mud floors, right? Even though they may not necessarily eat this bread, but you're not supposed to make bread. You're not supposed to be mavaza. You're not supposed to embarrass bread. But netilas yadayim to Beshamai first, they don't hold of it. My time shum perurin. What's the reason? Because of perurin of crumbs. If the shamish is a talmud chacham, then you can perurin sheyesh ben kazayis and manich perurin shein ben kazayis, because he's gonna take. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. If the shamish, the waiter, is a talmud chacham, now why is a talmud chacham? I don't know. But if he's a talmud chacham, naitel perurin sheyesh ben kazayis, u'manich perurin shein ben kazayis. What he'll do is he'll take the perurin, the crumbs that have a kazayis, he'll take them off the floor, right? And he'll just leave the crumbs on the floor that are less than a kazayis. And Basil is clearly holding that making crumbs that are less than a kazayis disgusting is not a problem. Crumbs that don't have a kazayis, you are allowed to make them. You're allowed to throw them out. Yeah. So fine. Now, by the way, Tais is here. This is the Tais I was looking for 2 days ago, right? Taisus, the third Taisus down, a very important Taisus, says Perurin the lesbu kazayis mutter lavdam biyad. Crumbs that don't have a kazayis, it's mutter to get rid of them. Miu koshala and the yusa kadamrina beper kalabasa. Right? It's even if you're mevaza crumbs, then it can cause you to become an ani, which is why so many people are very makbir on sweeping up the crumbs and throwing out the crumbs in a covered way, like wrapping up bread before they throw it out.
No, yeah. I mean, to eat the crumbs that you cut up, that come out of the...
Maybe, probably that's ultimately the source. Yeah. Anyway, so what's the Machlokes? Beis Hillel Beishama again. What's the source of the Machlokes? Beis Hillel Sabri also l'shtamish b'shamish amaretz. Beis Hillel says you're not allowed to use the shamish amaretz, right? Well, Beishama Sabri mutar l'shtamish b'shamish amaretz. You are allowed to, right? So since you're allowed to, then you have to be worried that he's gonna trash the bread, right? But Beis Hillel is not going to be concerned for that. In the entire parak, the halach is like Beis Hillel, bar mehad, the halach is Beis Shammai, except to here, the halach is like Beis Shammai. Rav Oshia says the opposite. Meaning, Rav Oshia switches the opinions of Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, and then Memela, the halach is still like Beis Hillel. Right? Meaning they're saying the same thing. They're both saying that you wash what?
Is there an Indian to do a dafka on the floor and not in a bowl?
No, that's just the way they did it. In fact, that's just the way they did it. I don't think there's anything. Maybe because they didn't want the dirty water on the table and they want to cover it, maybe.
Got it.
Yeah? Okay. Beis Shammai, Oimrim, Neru, Mazon. This is the Machlokes that we had on Amud Aleph that we referenced. So he's saying first you do the candle and then you do Mazon. So Rav Huna bar Yehuda Iklu lebei Rava. He traveled to Rava's house. Chazi l'Rava the Baruch besamim bereisha. He saw Rava make besamim first. Amarle michti Beis Shammai v'Hillel amar loy pligi. Beis Shammai v'Hillel don't have a machlokes whether light comes first. The Tanya Beis Shammai amar neru mazon besamim havdala. He says ner, right? The candle, then mazon, then besamim and havdala. Beis Hillel amar ner u besamim mazon havdala. But according to everybody, ner comes first. So how come you're making on besamim first? So Ani Rava Basrei, so Rava answered and says, "Do zu divrei Reb Meir." That's the way Reb Meir understands the machlokes between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. However, Rabbi Yehuda Yehuda says differently. Lo nachlu go Beis Shammai Beis Hillel al mazon shu b'tchila, al havdala shu b'sayf. They don't have any argument that the mazon comes first and havdala comes last. Alma nechluko. What are they disagreeing with? Al ma'or al b'samim. The machlokes is on the candles and on the b'samim. Beis Shammai al ma'or al b'samim. First, you make on the lights, and then you make them samim. You make them samim, and then ma'ar. I'll leave it to Rabbi Yehuda, which is obviously the way we pass it. The minhag is that we do like Beis Hillel, and that's why besamim. According Beis Hillel's Reb Meir's version of Beis Hillel. I'm sorry, Rabbi Yehuda's version of Beis Hillel, which is that besamim comes first. Beis Shammai shebara. This is also a yesodistic of machlokes. Now, the question is
the question.
What?
He still said
he says that was the wrong version.
Yeah, but he's doing besamim reisha. Who holds besamim reisha?
No, according to Rabbi Yehuda's version, then
besamim is not reisha.
Yes, it is. No, but reisha, no. Before ma'ar, before H. The outsides don't switch. The outsides, the mazon and the havdala don't switch. Yeah. Now the question is, do you say bayri ma'areish or bara ma'areish? Meaning is right. It's supposed to be past tense, right? I heard this from Reb Shmuel Brazil. The rule is that, how do you say past tense? How do you say past tense? Ovar, right? Ovar. So in the same nekudas, anytime you want to know whether a word that you're reading in Chumash is past tense, so if it has the same nekudas, ovar, so then it's past. So bara is the same nekudas as ovar, right? Okay. Well, it's bara, but so it has the comments first, so then it's past tense. So now the question is here: is bayre is past or not? So Amar Rabba, but bara kuli Amar like we're gonna have the same thing we had a few blot ago.
What's bracha? So we're not doing it.
Well, let's see. Amar Rabba.
I have a little question.
Yeah.
Ba'a and ba.
Who?
Ba'a and ba.
Remember that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Amar Rabba. Bibara, or it's Bibara, right? That's the real way. Bibara, kuli amalei pligi, the bara mashma. When you say bara, it's everybody holds that it's past tense. Keep looking at Boire. The Machlokes is whether Boire is also past tense. Beshamis everybody da asid lemivra. Boire means that Hashem will eventually create. Basilos Sabri Boire nami debara mashma. And Basilos says that Boire is also debara. Right? So basically again, bara, everybody agrees is past tense. Boire is a Machlokes, whether it's past or future. So Maser Rav Yosef asked the question, Yotzer or Vayre Chayshech, Yotzer Harim Uvayre Ruach, right? Yotzer or Vayre Chayshech we say at night. Vayre Chayshech is not in the future. It's he created light and created dark. So it's clearly going in past tense. And the same for the other psukim. Yotzer Harim Uvayre Ruach, Vayre Shemayim B'Naitem. So you see that Vayre is past tense. Elam Rav Yosef Bara Uvayre Kuli Amalei Pligi De Bara Mash. Bara and Vayre everybody holds is that he created it. The real machlokes is whether by ma'ar and ma'ar. The besamim are chada nura, ika benura. There's only one candle in ma'ar. There's a lot of them, which Rashi says because you see different colors in one flame. You see a lot of different colors. There are many ma'ayros in a light, right? So how do we paskin with this, right? So we paskin, obviously we say bayre ma'ayresh, which again is interesting because if everybody holds that bara for sure means created, so why don't we just do the bara and not get into the whole issue, right? Which Taisus, that's bottom Taisus says, "Vim time rahayel v'lay pligi b'lashon bara amay amar bayre." If we would rather use a lashon of the pasuk, so since the pasuk uses bayre a few times, so therefore that's the way we're going to possibly use bayre, even though l'chayra bara is the safer bet. Even though the maskana tzegomara bara and bayre is means the past tense. Okay, we'll stop here. Good night, and everybody should sleep tight.
Yeah, I can see I have a shower for you.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how to share the page, but is this a problem for Pesach?
What's this?
I'm gonna show you. 1 second. I gotta figure out how to do this. How do you share the page?
Share your screen.
How come I don't see that anywhere?
It's on the bottom of your screen. It should be one of the options of share screen.
I don't. You coming when the Schnitz is winning, right? Yeah. All right. I could have picked you up.
Oh, share. Here you go.
I'll drop you. Leave your car by, let's say, by Kmart.
See, I shared my screen.
Can you see that?
I see yours. Yeah.
Every share, you somehow manage to discuss this Jim Beam stuff.
Yeah, no. Is it a problem, Pesach? This was for Purim. Well, it's comes Yenena from Chametz, no?
Is it Chametz?
It says it comes from the Jim Beam barrels.
Which would be kidneys.
You really, Parrots, you noticed the difference?
I didn't try it yet. I'm doing for Purim. L'kavod Purim, I'm doing it.
But nobody's going to know the difference on Purim.
I understand that, but that's the only real time you can. So I remember asking Tati if you're allowed to use a corn pipe to smoke on Pesach. You know, right. It's actually a corn.
Right.
Well, I have one of those ones.
Corn cob pipe.
Simon, you probably have that 3 times a day.
Indiana, baby.
All they have is corn.
I don't know. Why don't you call OU? Text the email OU and ask them. Does it have a hechsher on it, Peretz?
I didn't see in the back if it does.
It's just wood. None of the pellets have a shell.
Okay, so then why don't they have a hechsher? Maybe because schnapps doesn't give a hechsher.
No, but it's pure wood, Yaakov. These pellets are pure wood.
Cedars? Wood?
Cedars, yeah. It's Kmart.
Kmart? No, it used to be. I don't know, Peretz. I don't know.
I hear you. All right.
Email them. What?
Tzviaka, would you tell someone they have to sell this? If Peretz had a bag for Purim and he still has leftovers, would you sell it?
Nah, you can sell that. What do you mean? You asked me, could you sell it for Pesach?
No. Does he have to?
That is the Moscato situation.
What do you mean? Does he have to sell it?
As long as they only
Why
Yeah,
not
I'm saying,
sell it?
no, I'm saying, would you tell him he had to sell? If he had a full barrel, an empty barrel from whiskey, would you have to sell that barrel?
That's the only way it's still around.
Yes. What do you mean? Barrel full of saturated with
Empty.
schnapps?
No, empty. An empty, dried, empty barrel that used to be used for whiskey.
I mean, the first simon in Tov Nun Aleph talks about barrels that are saturated, and you really got to clean them out. And he said they clean. If you clean them well, you can lock them away. You don't have to sell it. So I'm
So
assuming
you can't have it. You can't have it out for Pesach.
I would say you cannot have it out. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you can't have it out, how could he use the pellets?
No, I'm assuming that there's chametz in there. Again, assuming that there's chametz. If it's not chametz, then it's not a problem.
No, I'm saying, so is whiskey chametz?
What?
Is whiskey chametz?
I don't know. I'm assuming.
So what's the shiloh then? So it's a no.
I'm assuming it's a no, but you never know. Maybe it's not.
All right, but leave that there. I'll try to call them.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Hey.
Where's mommy?
Okay, quick.